Hello everyone, welcome to Aptly Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on PIB monthly compilation and I'll be discussing PIB for the month of October 2021. As you know, PIB is something which is very important for your prelims examination. It will also contribute into mains examination getting some of the important news and it points, right? This can be also be used in the essay paper. So we'll understand some of the most important news and significant news that were relevant for the month of October. So without any further delay, let's get started. And in this video, we'll be segregating this entire topic into four important subcontents. The first, we'll be discussing General Studies Paper 2 related news, which will be followed by the General Studies Paper 3, then some foreign policy news, and at the end, there would be some short liner news that would be relevant for the examination, right? So let's get started. And those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Aptly Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, do not forget to give a thumbs up. So starting with the General Studies Paper 2, we'll see some of the most significant news because here I make to disclaimer that we discuss a lot more initiative like PIB is there, Yojana Kurukshetras and PRS is there, right? So most of the news tend to collapse. So you need to see all the initiative at a go because the thing is that you need to interrelate the news. Some of the news which is discussed already in Kurukshetra and PIB must not be discussed here, right? So it is very important that you see, you watch all our initiative for every month which is there, right? So starting with the General Studies Paper 2, first we'll discuss about the state and nutritional profile. This was released by Niti Aayog and again important for prelims examination. So Niti Aayog in a joint efforts has come up with International Food Policy Research Institute and Indian Institute of Population Science, UNICEF and Institute of Economic Growth. They have launched the National Nutrition Profile for 19 state and union territories. So what is important? आपको क्या ध्यान रखना है यहाँ पे कौन कौन से organizations इसमें participatory हैं. First is IFPRI, then IIPS, UNICEF, IEG, ये सारे हैं. उसके अलावा नीति आयोग, right? So it become important. It can UPSC can ask you which among the following were the part of this report, the State Nutritional Profile Report. So something more about the State Nutrition Profile. The State Nutrition Profile give insights on nutritional outcome, immediate and underlying determinants that intervene based on the National फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे जो कि थर्ड, फोर्थ और फिफ्थ राउंड की सर्वे है, उससे बहुत सारी डेटाज ली गई है दैट इज कंसिडरिंग एज अ डिटरमिनेंट फैक्ट फॉर दिस न्यूट्रिशनल प्रोफाइल रिपोर्ट. And the state of nutritional profile include a comprehensive compilations of crucial data that can be positively, effectively affect the policy decision, and it would also facilitate the research in that particular area. So once government has such important data, it also help government to make policy for the most vulnerable section of our population in our country, and at the same time it also let us know in which direction the policy is requirement, right? So एक bottom up approach के लिए इस तरह की जो interventions है, even you can say the nutrition profiles or you can say survey is very important. Now SNP is based on the head count जहाँ पे analysis की गई थी from the data which was taken from the National Family Health Survey की जो report है 5 में, and it provided the evidence of the priority group which was required, and this was on the parameters that was set by the WHO जो World Health Organizations की guideline है उसको follow की गई है. And even the SNP has incorporated the takeaway from children, women, men and identified areas where the state have the potential to improve. और रिपोर्ट ने कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ों को हाईलाइट किया. दे हैव हाईलाइटेड द बेस्ट एंड वर्स्ट परफॉर्मिंग डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. उसके बर्डन्स किन किन डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स पे हैं, राइट? टॉप कवरेज एंड द डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ द कंट्री, राइट? किस कंट्रीज में, किस स्टेट्स में या किस डिस्ट्रिक्ट में सबसे ज़्यादा कवरेज है, किस डिस्ट्रिक्ट की सबसे ज़्यादा बर्डन है, किस डिस्ट्रिक्ट ने अच्छे परफॉर्म किए हैं और किस डिस्ट्रिक्ट ने वर्स्ट परफॉर्म किए. सो द कैटेगरी वाइज द रिपोर्ट वॉज हाईलाइटेड. Now the other news, that is Commission on Air Quality Management. As we know that the air quality is also deteriorating in most of the major city in our country. So in light of that, a commission has been established. Supreme Court of India has also taken the cognizance of this and they have asked the central government to formulate some rules and regulation. So Commission for Air Quality and Management would periodically review the compliances of dust mitigating measures, खास करके जो कंस्ट्रक्शन और डेमोन्स्ट्रेशंस काम चल रही है दिल्ली के नेशनल कैपिटल रीजन में. NCR is a region which cover other cities from Uttar Pradesh, Haryana. These are the states from which the neighboring cities there. Even some of the important states of Uttar Pradesh is adjoined to the NCR region. So the direction have been issued under the CAQM, जहाँ पे कुछ states को like हरियाणा, उत्तर प्रदेश, राजस्थान, and these have been developed in the web portal to monitor their compliances and dust mitigating measures. And these initiatives were taken to curb and abate the air pollution levels from the constructions and demolition site that is there in the NCR region. Now moving ahead, अगर provisions की बात करें जो CAQM है उसके क्या क्या provisions थे. So all projects on the plot area equal to greater than 500 square kilometer. These are some technical things which you don't need to remember. But आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि जितने भी projects हैं उनके construction and demolitions जो है that is under the jurisdiction of urban local bodies in NCR and they have to mandatorily register in the web portal. So prior compliances is required that every site which is undergoing demonstrations they have to be registered in the web portal. Along with these provisions, the video fencing equipped with the remote connectivity technology would be incorporated in the web portal for an effective and round-clock monitoring of the compliances of the dust mitigation and project proposal, right? So these are the essentiality that would be required. Further, the projects are required to install reliable and low-cost particulate matter 2.5 PM10 that would be required for the project site, right? Construction and development sites. क्या बेनिफिट्स होंगे इस तरह के मॉनिटरिंग के? द टेक्नोलॉजिकल शिफ्ट की अगर बात करें इट वुड हेल्प द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द सेल्फ ऑडिट सर्टिफाइड कंप्लाइंसेस स्टिपुलेट करेगी कंट्रोल मेजर्स एंड इट विल ऑल्सो स्ट्रेंथन द डस्ट कंट्रोल मेजर इन द कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड डेवलपमेंट साइट. The project prospond also expect to upload the self declaration on a fortnight basis. So हर 14 days पे इनको अपने update देने होंगे. Further, the direction as was given by the Delhi Pollution Control Committee and even the state pollution control boards, they have to accordingly compliance the rules that was given by the DPCC and SPCB, right? तो उनके जितने भी proposals हैं जो criteria हैं उनको fulfill करने की भी जरूरत पड़ेगी. Agenda document 2021-2022. This was released by the Ministry of Coal. We see the detail of this. The Ministry of Coal has finalized Agenda document 2021-2022. This is for the first time that the agenda document was released and brought in. और इस document में कुछ important areas define की गई और उन पे focus किया गया. That include coal sector reform, coal transition and sustainability, institutional building and futuristic agenda. And the agenda has been designed along with monitoring and reviewing the framework that will be reviewed frequently by the coal secretary. उनके directions और सब चीज़ों पे alignment की जाएगी. The areas covered would be major reform done in few last year. जो directions हैं, जो ministries ने जो एक parameter set की थी, वो emerging coal challenges पे किस तरह से meet हो रही है. These all things would be backed by the technological upgradations also. Now the agenda covers the entire gamut of area that is steering coal sector in the new technology while focusing on the core competence of ensuring the set productions target including 1 billion ton by 2024, right? As we know, coal की अगर बात करें, we already have a commitment to Paris climate change and the recently held COP26. तो ये सारे commitment में coal reductions की बात की गई है which India is looking forward with. Now, coal sector reform की अगर बात करें, the coal sector reform projects for our financial year, अगर बात करें कुछ important regulatory plan की, Jharia master plan, Jharia is a place in Jharkhand. Then we have regulatory reform, exploration coal, beneficiary safety in coal mines, cooking coal strategy, marketing reform, coal pricing reforms, reform in land acquisition, solar power projects, coal dispatch and stocking, coal export in neighboring countries. उसके अलावा ये स्ट्रैटेजी जहाँ पे हम कोल की जो प्रोडक्शंस है उनको भी बढ़ाएं एंड इवन वी कैन बूस्ट इट फॉर द माइनिंग एलोकेटेड अंडर द ऑक्शन प्रोग्राम, राइट? So this is the reform that would be undertaken by the agenda 2021-2022. Now, coal transition and sustainability include the areas on the social aspect of coal transition, monetizations of decoal land, use of artificial intelligence. तो मोस्टली यहाँ पे टेक्नोलॉजी यूटिलाइजेशंस की बात ज़्यादा की गई है, जहाँ पे ड्रोन में भी माइनिंग एक्टिविटीज़ में इट वुड बी इंक्लूडेड, एंड दिस विल कॉल फॉर मोर सस्टेनेबिलिटी दैट वुड लेड इंडिया to achieve a target of net zero emissions. Now, the institutional building segment of the above agenda of the coal include Coal Controller Organization, इसको CCO के नाम से भी जाना जाता है, even the Coal Mine Provident Fund organizations, upgrading the coal testing lab, staffing quantities and training issues. These all things would be taken into consideration. Comprehensive Handicraft Cluster Development Scheme. This is again something which is very important for the tribal people in our country, giving them a platform to explore from their end and also getting a livelihood options. So the Ministry of Textile has approved a continuation of Comprehensive Handicraft Cluster Development Program with a total lay of 160 crore, and this scheme is going to be extended till 2026. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सपोर्ट, मार्केट एक्सेस, डिज़ाइन, टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेडेशंस, ये सारी चीज़ें हैं जो इसके मेन कंपोनेंट्स होंगे, जो भी जितने भी हैंडीक्राफ्ट आर्टिशंस हैं उनको सपोर्ट करेंगे. Now, what is the aim and objective of this scheme? Basically, first and foremost is it aims to create a world-class infrastructure that cater the business needs of the local artisans. जो स्मॉल मीडियम इंटरप्राइजेस के लोग हैं उनकी प्रोडक्शंस को कैसे बढ़ाई जा सकती है, एक्सपोर्ट को कैसे प्रमोट किया जा सकता है. दिस इज द मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव थ्रू दिस स्कीम. एंड अदर इज टू establish a cluster that are to assist the artisans and entrepreneurs in the world of using the modern infrastructure, latest technology, adequate training, human resource development के इनपुट्स हो, चाहे मार्केट लिंकेजेस की बात हो या प्रोडक्ट डाइवर्सिफिकेशंस की बात हो, ये सारी चीज़ें इस प्रोग्राम में इंक्लूड की गई है, राइट. सो ओवरऑल एक हॉलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट की जा रही है ऐसे आर्टिशंस की जो कि स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस से हैं, जो इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे काम कर रहे हैं, उनको प्रमोट किया जाएगा बाय द गवर्नमेंट. सो दे वुड बी गेटिंग अ बैकिंग फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट टू प्रमोट देमसेल्फ. Now, soft intervention like baseline survey, skill training, improvement of toolkits, marketing events, even seminar, design workshop, capacity building, these would be provided to all the artisans. और कुछ कॉमन फैसिलिटीज़ की अगर बात करें तो कॉमन फैसिलिटी सेंटर, एम्पोरियम, रॉ मटेरियल बैंक, ट्रेड फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर्स, कॉमन प्रोडक्शन डिज़ाइन, रिसोर्स सेंटर्स दैट वुड ऑल्सो बी ग्रांटेड. Now the focus would be on integrating the scatting artisan, building the grassroots level entrepreneurs, like जितने भी small and medium enterprises के लोग हैं उनको एक scale देना. They should be provided some economic resources so that they can build up and generate more and more products. Amended Technology for Upgradations Fund Scheme, we'll see this as well. So the Ministry of Textile and Ministry of State have reviewed the amended technology upgraded fund scheme, जिसको ATUFSP कहते हैं. It's different with the different ministries, department, textile association, banks, ये सारे लोगों के साथ मीटिंग की गई है जिसमें ये कोशिश की गई है जो भी अमेंडेड टेक्नोलॉजी है उसको कैसे अपग्रेड किया जाए in terms of textile sectors. Now let's see the background. Ministry of Textile has introduced the Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme in 1999 as a credit link subsidy scheme. And the purpose of this scheme was five important sub. The first is modernization of technology and upgradations of Indian textile industries. The second is promoting ease of doing business. Third is generating employment, and fourth is promoting export. So in total, there are the four intended rationale behind this scheme. So these are four rationales. Now ATUFS की अगर बात करें, बेसिकली मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ टेक्सटाइल के अंदर आती है. इट्स एम टू फैसिलिटेट एम्प्लॉयमेंट, इन्वेस्टमेंट, क्वालिटी प्रोडक्शंस एज वेल एज इम्पोर्ट एंड एक्सपोर्ट सब्स्टिट्यूशंस ऑफ द टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्रीज, राइट. जहाँ पे इनडायरेक्टली प्रमोशंस होगी इन्वेस्टमेंट की और मैन्युफैक्चरर्स को भी एक मौका मिलेगा कि वो अपने एंड पे टेक्नोलॉजी को अपग्रेड कर सके. एंड अ क्रेडिट लिंक सब्सिडी स्कीम फॉर capital investment and manufacturing textile would be required, which Make in India as well as zero defect and zero effective initiative would be implemented by the government of India. So zero defect का मतलब है कि जो खास करके जो लॉसेस होती है, जो प्रोडक्शन और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में जो लॉस है वो कम से कम हो, और जीरो इफेक्ट इनिशिएटिव इज लाइक वी शुड हैव मोस्ट पॉसिबल इफेक्ट जहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट को हम एक्सपोर्ट भी कर पाएंगे, राइट? सो दिस इज हाउ ATUFS वुड बी वर्किंग. Now the following entities are eligible for this scheme. कौन कौन से ऐसे ग्रुप हैं जो इसमें एलिजिबल होंगे? फर्स्ट वुड बी वीविंग, whipping preparatories and knitting, processor of fiber, yarn, fabrics, garments that are made up, handloom sectors, silk sector, jute sector, garment made up of manufacturing and technical textile. So they would be eligible to be the part of the scheme. Now some news which is related to general studies paper 3. Wetland of India's. So the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has recently launched a web portal called Wetlands of India portal. You definitely need to check this portal. You will get very important informations because many a times UPSC tend to ask question on the wetland, right? So do check out the website. The portal is going to provide a single point access to the all information relating to the wetland of our country. So this web portal has been designed to ensure कि लोगों को ज़्यादा awareness हो wetlands के बारे में. So about the portal, it's a dynamic system processing information which will be available to all stakeholders. The portal hosts capacity building materials, repository, video informations. It would be also very helpful for all the students who are preparing for any competitive examination. A dashboard for each state union territory has been developed. Access to portal pollute within the information of the wetland and their administration. The project is commissioned by the German Federal Ministry of Environment, Nature Conservation and Nuclear Safety under the International Climate Initiative. So this point is again important and relevant for the examination. क्या क्या features हैं portal में? The portal would be polluted by the different state UTs and additional features that might be coming in the month. So कितनी किस जगह पे क्या populations है, क्या status है wetland की, उसके बारे में सारी updated information होगी. Login credential होगी, that would be also providing the knowledge for the partners. And the portal will also enable the citizen engagement. Currently, जो citizen engaged हैं, they would be able to upload the website. They would be uploading the pictures, the reality of any of the wetland they are residing. तो आप यहाँ पे अपने grievances या जो ऐसे concern environmental concerns हैं वो अपने pictures के थ्रू भी गवर्नमेंट को अवेयर कर सकते हैं, right? And this information would allow the state and UTs to contact the interest person various program under the initiative, right? सो यहाँ पे जो नॉर्मल सिटीजन है उनको भी अथॉरिटी दी गई है कि वो अपने पिक्चर्स अपलोड करके गवर्नमेंट को अवेयर करें कि रियल टाइम ग्रेडेशंस या स्टेटस क्या है किसी भी वेटलैंड की. नाउ डस्ट कंट्रोल एंड मैनेजमेंट सेल व्हिच वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड. So Commission for Air Quality Management in the National Capital and the adjoining area is taking as steps where they are looking forward that how we can improve the dust quality in the National Capital region and how it can be drastically degraded. So approach is to strategically strengthen the dust mitigation measure with innovative solutions that curb the pollution sources. So CAQM, they have issued the directions to all road owning, maintaining and road construction agencies कि वो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के साथ, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ, उत्तर प्रदेश और कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेट्स लाइक यूपी, राजस्थान, हरियाणा के साथ कोलैबोरेट करें जहाँ पे डस्ट मैनेजमेंट सर उनके रेस्पेक्टिव स्टेट्स के साथ कोलैबोरेट करके काम करें सो दैट इट कैन रिड्यूस द नंबर ऑफ डस्ट विच इज कमिंग टू दिल्ली एंड एनसीआर रीजन. Now cell कैसे functions करेगी? What would be the function of cell? The cell would be regularly monitoring the compliances of the road dust control measure by authorities concerning, and it will track the progress measure that would be undertaken, right? So this is a decision that was given in light of that the Supreme Court has also asked the central government and state government to formulate any cell that is looking after this dust problems. And apart from the exhaustive report prepared by monthly basis, the cell would also help to fight against the dust pollution more systematically. डस्ट मॉनिटरिंग प्रोग्राम की अगर बात करें 10 पॉइंट डस्ट मॉनिटरिंग पैरामीटर्स रखी गई हैं और ये जो पैरामीटर्स हैं वो स्ट्रिक्टली अडॉप्ट की जाएंगी बाय द डस्ट कंट्रोल एंड मैनेजमेंट सेल. सो डस्ट डिस्पोजल के लिए ऑप्टिमम यूटिलाइजेशंस ऑफ रोड स्वीपिंग मशीन्स नीड टू बी इंश्योर्ड. साइंटिफिक डिस्पोजेबल ऑफ डस्ट कलेक्टेड एंड डेजिग्नेटेड साइट लैंडफिल वुड बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन लोकल अथॉरिटीज़. उसके बाद वाटर स्पार्कलिंग की जाएगी ताकि जितने भी डस्ट है वो सप्रेस हो जाए. एंड इवन इन दैट रिगार्ड ऑगमेंटेशंस of mechanism spilling capacity would be done in a group. प्रॉपर मैनेजमेंट की बात की गई है फॉर रोड्स, सो लेयरिंग और रिपेयरिंग ऑफ रोड इन अ मैनर विच extensively support the sweeping mechanism, right? Other is the conversions of the non-paved roadside into the paved one, into the green areas. उसके बाद greening the central wedges, laying cementing roads over the bituminous road, especially in the industrial areas, because industrial areas में bituminous road is very essential because of the heavy load and truck passing on. Identifications of the hotspot road dust target specific implementation of the road dust and control measures. So this is how the proper management of roads would be implemented. Now, river ranching program. So this is a program which is again very important in terms of improving the life of the river. So the Union Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry, Dairy have launched the river ranching program, Bijhat, Gat, Munkeshwar in Uttar Pradesh. So 5 states are namely Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Odisha, Tripura, and Chhattisgarh are participating in the National River Ranching Program, and they would be the part of this, right? These are basically the district. Odisha, this is Assam, this is Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Odisha. So the total program, the total outlay for this is 8.85 lakh fingering across the ranches. More about this program. This was introduced as a special activity under Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, or you can say the scheme. This was aimed to enhance the fishing production in the country, especially in this region where they would be expanding, intensifying, diversifying the productions of the land use and water. बात करें DOF की, that is Department of Fisheries. Ministry of Fisheries has designated the नेशनल फिशरीज डेवलपमेंट बोर्ड एट नोडल सेंट्रल एजेंसी, जहाँ पे सेंट्रल सेक्टर्स कंपोनेंट जो है वो यूटिलाइज की जाएगी ताकि रिवर रेंचिंग पूरे कंट्रीज में अच्छे से हो सके, राइट? नाउ व्हाट इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस स्कीम? द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ इज दिस टू हैव क्रिएटिंग अ fish catchment that improve livelihood of the fisheries and maintain the cleanness of river as well as the feed and the organic rudiments, or upliftment of fish stock to enhance the productions of ranched fisheries species. बेनिफिट्स की अगर बात करें, इट कैन ऑल्सो अचीव द सस्टेनेबल फिशरीज रिडक्शंस हैबिटेट degradation, conservation of biodiversity, maximizing the social impact benefit, assessing the eco services. Apart from this, it will also have to upgradations of traditional fisheries, ecosystem sustainability, trade, social protection of inland communities. किस तरह से इंप्लीमेंट होगी? फेजेस में रखी गई है. फर्स्ट फेज ऑफ NFDB would be for the year 2020 and 2021, targeted for 3 major rivers, namely Ganga and its tributaries. उसके बाद ब्रह्मपुत्र और बराक रिवर जो है, इवन द महानदी आर द पार्ट ऑफ इट. नाउ अकॉर्डिंगली 6 मेजर इनलैंड स्टेट्स जो है वो जो फोकस करेंगे, दैट इंक्लूड उत्तर प्रदेश, त्रिपुरा, छत्तीसगढ़, उड़ीसा एंड उत्तराखंड. इवन द बिहार हैज बीन सेलेक्टेड along with the targeting sites. NFDB sanctions budget is 2.8 crore. That's the range up to 9.71 lakh fingerings of the state, apart from the action plan of 2021 of the PMSY. Now, Global FinTech Hackathon Series. This is also known as iSprint 2021. So the International Financial Services Center Authority and the Gift City has launched iSprint 2021, a global fintech hackathon for the series of IFSCA. और ये फर्स्ट स्प्रिंट सीरीज है जहाँ पे स्प्रिंट 0.1 बैंक टेक is focusing upon fintech companies for the banking sectors. So something more about this. The detail is that it is a unified authority for development and regulation of financial product, financial services and financial institution in the International Finance Services Center. और IFCA ये एंडेवर करेगी, इनकरेज करेगी प्रमोशंस ऑफ फिनेंशियल टेक्नोलॉजी इनिशिएटिव अक्रॉस द स्पेक्ट्रम ऑफ बैंक, इंश्योरेंस, सिक्योरिटीज एंड फंड मैनेजमेंट इन द IFC. In this context, अगर बात करें जो hackathons हैं, that would be a cutting across these sectors that have been planned across the banner of iSprint 2021. तो ये जो हैकाथॉन होगी, दिस इज द फर्स्ट अंडर द iSprint सीरीज 1. इसके बाद और भी सीरीज बढ़ाई जाएंगी जहाँ पे बैंकिंग सेक्टर को एक अलग तरीके से बैकिंग मिलेगी एंड इट्स रेगुलेटर would also be giving a technology backup so that they can improve on their part. And it shall be conducted virtually and it is an open eligible fintech across the globe, right? So not only from India, people from other country can also participate in this hackathon. What is the aim? Aim is to connect the IFSCA to the Gift City with fintech ecosystem to solve the business problem of the banking unit in the GIFT City and IFC, and also to promote the retail business for banking unit and the GIFT IFSC. Now, moving ahead with some foreign policy and related news. So, the first is India and United States. The Industrial Security Agreement, that is also known as ISA Summit, that was held between India and US, that was held in September and October. So, this is something which is very important in terms of building a healthy bilateral relationship between India and US in terms of industrial security. So, it is important, it can be asked in examination. Second, the summit was organized to develop a protocol for the exchange of classified informations between the defense and industrial of both nations. The ISA was designed in December 2019 to facilitate the exchange of classified informations between the defense and industries, both the United, खास करके अगर बात करें दोनों countries के बीच में. It was held to create a roadmap for implementation of the ISA. This group would meet periodically to align policies and procedures to expeditiously allow the defense and industries in collaborations of cutting edge and fencing technology. जितने भी defense की cutting edge technology है, जो advanced technology है, उसको दोनों countries incorporate करेगी. India Nepal exercise Surya Kiran 15. This is the 15th editions of India Nepal joint exercise Surya Kiran that was commemorated recently in Pithoragarh, Uttarakhand region, right? So apart from UPSC, many other competitive examination tend to ask this number, the countries and the location, the venue where it was actually held. So आपको ये तीन चीज़ें ध्यान में रखनी है किसी भी एक्सरसाइज किस कंट्री के बीच में हो रही है, कितना नंबर है उसका और क्या वेन्यू रही है. India and Sri Lanka Maitra Shakti 2021. This is the 8th edition of India Sri Lanka joint exercise. This was conducted in the Combat Training School in Ampara in Sri Lanka from 4th of October to 15th of October. And the 7th editions of exercise Mitra Shakti was conducted in the Foreign Trade Node Pune in Maharashtra. India-Japan GIMEX, the 5th edition of GIMEX of Indian-Japan Naval Military Exercises, you can say. This was between Indian Navy and Japan Maritime Self-Defense Forces, which was held in Arabian Sea. So the venue became important here. And GIMEX series of exercises was commenced in January. Basically, 12 started from that particular time. It focuses upon maritime security cooperations, and the last edition of GIMEX was conducted in September 2020. India and UK के बीच में Ajaya War. This is the 6th editions of war that was being conducted between India and UK, and this time it was held in Uttarakhand region. And the 3rd edition was between the UK Energy Growth Partnership Minister Dialogue that was held virtually. The parties deliberately agreed to focus upon the action plan of power green and renewable greener and the finance clean research in the roadmap for 2030, right? So this is two news which you can club. This is one for the exercise and other is for the growth and energy partnership, right? This is specifically one news and this is the second news. Some short liner news that is again important for your examination. The first is International Day for Girl Child, because women empowerment and empowerment for the girl child is your syllabus, which is mentioned in the paper 1. So International Day for Girl Child is observed annually on 11th of October. It was decided by the United Nations and first in 2012. The day is dedicated to raising awareness about the gender equality, ensuring right and improving opportunities for girls. And the theme for this year is Digital Generation, Our Generation. Geospatial Energy Map of India. Basically एक मैप तैयार की गई है by the basically this was being released by the Niti Aayog. So Niti Aayog in collaboration with the Indian Space Research Organization, they have developed a comprehensive information system and energy map to support the ministries of Government of India. आपके लिए कोई भी ये प्रोफाइल या नेम याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप जस्ट मेंशन दिस टू हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड कि कौन कौन से किस प्रोफाइल पे हैं. बट आपके लिए ये वीके सरावत या फिर श्री अमिताभ कांत या फिर राजीव कुमार, ये सारे नाम्स की कभी भी एग्जाम्स में जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. The GIS map provide a holistic pictures for energy resources in the country that would enable visualization of energy installations in the conventional power plant, oil-based, gas well, as well as refineries, right? So this would be more towards the renewable energy power and plants in a country. The map would identify and locate all primary and secondary sources of energy और उनकी ट्रांसमिशंस किस तरह से, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कहाँ पे है, नेटवर्क प्रोफाइल क्या है, कंप्रीहेंसिव व्यू होगी पूरी एनर्जी प्रोडक्शंस पे और उनके डिस्ट्रीब्यूशंस पे. सो दे वुड बी क्रिएटिंग अ मैप टू इंश्योर्स कि कहाँ किस जगह पे और एक्सप्लोरेशन की जा सकती है in terms of renewable energy. Now, mastitis, this is a common infection diseases which harm the farm productivity, and because of this disease, the productions of milk in the basically cows and buffalo tend to decrease. So, a medical gel marketer's company have developed by the collaboration with National Innovation Foundation, and they have commercialized the industrial partner with the Rakesh Pharmaceuticals, right? So this become important for your prelims also because they tend to ask any question which is ongoing in the contemporary issues. Bani Buffalo, why this is important? Because UPSC has asked question on Karai camel in 2016, I guess, right? So उस हिसाब से बानी कैमल्स की में भी काफ़ी important बनती है. This is the first kind of IVF cattle that was been named as Bani Buffalo. This is there in the Gujarat, Kutch region. The birth of the Bani buffalo calf has opened up the doors to mass productions of rare Bani buffalo, which can witness extreme weather conditions, an important point, and it can even survive in a water scarce atmosphere and produce up to 16 liter. So this is 16 liter of milk, right? So this is the peculiar feature of the Bani buffalo become very significant and important from examination point of view, right? So this was all about the PIB compilation for the month of October. If you want to practice a lot more questions, we have prelims test series for 2022 where you will be availing 60 high quality tests, and you can attempt this question twice. You will be getting a regular performance evaluation of your test as well, and you can avail this benefit with the 12 month subscription of IES Gazetted magazine. So do check it out. मैंने वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में इसके लिंक दिए हुए हैं, आप ज़्यादा जानकारी वहाँ से ले सकते हैं. For all other concern, you can let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off, and you can watch a lot more other initiatives like daily news and editorial analysis, IES Gazetted magazine, Fortnite current affair, PIB, MPR, and gist of Yojana and Kurukshetra, right? So this all initiative would help you to sail through this journey of civil services. So we'll meet again in the next round of the compilation the next month. For time being, thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching.